Hi everyone, my name is Mark Deere, and in this video I'm going to talk about giving things away, basically. I gave away my car today, so we didn't sell it. I got no money for the car. It was my third car, so we have like a small car I've had for many years, and this was kind of our larger family car. And when it stopped being reliable, we got a new car a few years ago now. So we have our other car. So it had kind of just sat in my garage for the last 3 years, or 2.5 years. And I had a guy who I worked with who, he was really into cars, and I was just like, hey, do you want a car? And he was like, yeah. So he kind of put a battery in it and took it away. It was great. And I feel amazing. He offered me money for it, and he offered me, things for it. And I said, look, just take it. Just take it, because I haven't used it in 2.5 years, and it's much better than the car you're driving. So away you go. And that feeling of the load off my shoulders, knowing the car's not there, not being used, like somebody's going to take it and enjoy it. It's not just going to a wrecker to be stripped for parts. Like he's going to drive it every day. And that's really exciting to me. And I think the feeling of giving things away, obviously, because if you haven't seen my videos recently, I'm about to leave this town. I've lived here for 3 years. I transferred from Brisbane for work, and we're going to go back to Brisbane. So I decided I'm leaving classroom teaching, full-time classroom teaching, after 10 years. For 11 years before that, I used to make TV ads and corporate videos for work. So now for the next 10 years, my plan is to basically make, films and courses about how to make films. That's what I'm going to do, online courses. So I'm very, very excited about it, going back into business, but rather than making services, actually making products that people can have. But getting ready to move. So we've got, 20 days left until we leave, basically, or Christmas till New Year's, and then we're leaving on the 20th of January. And so we've been giving away a lot of things, and we've been throwing away a lot of things, and really, because we have a house full of stuff, obviously, from when we sold our house. So we're really trying to pare down what we have. And this includes, I've scanned thousands of sheets of paper, and we've got more to scan. I'm going to make some videos with Kenny. I found all our old scripts from different projects, like 20 years worth of projects. The reason I'm making these videos, if I haven't told you, if this is the first one I'm on you're seeing, the reason I'm making this video is that I'm making 100 videos in 100 days where I talk about what I'm thinking and my process and what's happening in my life while I work on a documentary called Confessions of a Failed Filmmaker. It's been 20 years this year since I made my first feature film, independent, no-budget feature film. And yeah, a lifetime lived in creativity. It's been amazing. So working on this documentary, sharing my ideas, it's interesting, the amount of projects you amass in that time. So we have all these projects, and I'm just gonna, once we make those videos, I'm gonna get rid of all those scripts. Like I'll scan them, so we have a digital copy, and then we'll get rid of them. So we're getting rid of a lot of things, and our kids have kind of pared down their toys, and we've pared down our possessions, and even the sentimental stuff. It's like, okay, I've looked at this every time I moved the last 3 or 4 times, and I've been walking around with it for 30 years. Like, I'm going to look at it 2 more times ever. Okay, it's time to let it go. So we're letting go of a lot of things. And it's been extremely cathartic. Like, I can't begin to express how cathartic it is to let go of things you've been holding on to for whatever reason. Like, it could just be complacency. It's like, whatever, I just keep it. I just bring it from place to place. It's important or whatever. When you stop and really think, it's funny because years ago, maybe 2013 or something, I read the Marie Kondo book about, the life-changing magic of tidying up or whatever. It's called something like that, about cleaning. She had another book later called Spark Joy. And basically, yeah, she talks about, and I think she has a Netflix show too. I haven't, watched it to know. I don't know that much about it, but I know the idea is, she says, get rid of everything. Like, if you don't hold it in your hands, I'm next to this gross discarded pillow today. I thought it was a tree stump, but it's a pillow. And it's basically, if you hold it in your hands and it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it. You don't need it in your life. It's weighing you down. And I don't know how much I agree with that. I was never a big fan of the idea of minimalism. I don't think, let's have nothing. I'll just have a mattress and nothing else because it doesn't spark joy. But at the same time, you are hanging on to a lot of stuff, and I'm talking low-hanging fruit stuff, easy stuff to get rid of that you don't really need, that you haven't really thought why it's in your life. And when you think, do I want this in my life? The answer is no, And that's the thing, the car, it meant a lot to us. Like, I don't think, because my black car that I got years ago when I was working in corporate is like a work car. It's like a little small Toyota Yaris. And, but we brought Lucy home in that from the hospital, and we brought Sonny home from it in the hospital. And I'm pretty sure I intentionally used it to bring Elise home from the hospital. I have 3 kids, each got brought home from the hospital in this black car. But when Elise was a baby, she spent most of her time getting driven around in the white car. And the kids, when they were going to school and everything, they were getting driven around in the white car, this car we're giving away today. So it has a lot of sentimental meaning for us, that car. But seeing it today, like, it's got 2.5 years worth of dust on it, like the kids had drawn pictures in the dust and stuff. And as it got reversed out today by the guy who bought it, we gave it a hose down so he could drive it home, to then go get it roadworthy or whatever. And hosing it down, like seeing it go from dirty and dusty to clean and polished, and it looked beautiful. We didn't even do much cleaning. We just gave it a bit of a rub down to get all the dirt off it. And it looked so beautiful. And the kids came out like, whoa, is that the white car? It looks so good. And we went and got a photo with it. And it's just funny how they were just like, whoa, because they will play under the house and see this old car that's just been sitting there. And yeah, all of a sudden it's beautiful and it like got brought back to life. And so the guy who took it, it's going to treasure it. So why hang on to my sentimental memories when we weren't going to use that car again? It's not right for us. It's right for this young single guy who can drive around on his own. It wasn't right for us as a family anymore. So I think letting go of things, even if they have sentimental attachment, and some things are harder to let go than others, you know, because we're moving, we're not going to take this car with us. So I'm just glad it went to someone who it matters. I was obsessed years ago. I was obsessed with the show American Pickers. I don't know if you've ever watched this show, but I had like a box set of a few DVDs, but it was on like one of the shows, one of the channels in Australia. And I really enjoyed the show because you'd see these people who like, they're effectively hoarders, but they're collectors. So they go to like yard sales and houses and flea markets and collect things that are worth something. But they'll have them in like a barn and there's like all this stuff that's probably not worth that much. And there's a few gems. So the American Pickers would go through and find the gems and buy the gems off the people. But the people were always so happy to give it to these guys who were the pickers. They were so happy to give it to them because they're like, I'm just so glad that this thing that I got 20 years ago that's been sitting collecting dust in my shed is going to somebody who's going to treasure it. Because I bought it knowing it was a treasure, but I have lots of things and I don't have time to go through them all. And you know, I'm going to let someone else treasure it now. And I think that feeling of like getting the things that aren't important to you out of your life, and obviously when you're moving house, it's easier to do. But I think, yeah, it's a weight. It lifts a weight off your shoulders. And I really today, giving away the car, I feel that more than I have with a lot of the other things where you're throwing things away. There's a line in a feature film Candice and I made that came out in 2010. It was called The Least Damnedest Thing. And the line is, moving, who needs it? And that was directly from us, because we used to move every 6 months to a year. We were renting when we were in our early 20s. So we lived in a million different houses, like a lot of different houses. I don't know how many it was like 30 or something different houses in a, 8-year period. And we had so many houses, or maybe it was a 10-year period, whatever. We lived in a lot of houses. And so yeah, that line really rang true. And the guy, the actor, same thing. He'd rented a bunch of houses. He's like, oh, who needs moving? It's the worst, packing up your stuff. And it is the worst. But I think taking the time to remove the things you don't need rather than just putting in a box and moving them, like, and then when you move next time, you're like, we didn't even open that box in the last 3 years since we moved from our last house or whatever. Maybe you don't need that stuff, you know? And letting go, it's hard, but I think it's worth it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, the feeling of letting go of things. And I think it's really useful. And I'm not saying you need to get rid of things you have. I'm not saying everybody should get rid of things. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of the idea of minimalism. I'm like, I think having things that mean something to you and, that are important to you, like it leads to a richer life, I think. But I do think, yeah, letting things go, especially sentimental things that are hard to let go of, I think letting go of them it does lift a weight off your shoulders. And that's a feeling I have today, and I'm feeling really great about it. So anyway, I don't know if this was useful. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments, like if you think that letting things go is easy or hard or not something you've ever really thought about. Anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed talking about that today, and it's definitely something I've thought about a lot from all the years of moving. Who needs it? I don't love moving, but yeah, it's a nice feeling, keeping the things that matter and focusing on the things that matter, which a lot of the things that matter aren't things, it's being with your family and being safe, and especially this time of year. Like I'm filming this on Boxing Day, so it's important, to really focus on the important stuff. Not the things that you're carrying around just because you are, Okay, that's enough for one day. Great talking to you today, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.